Hi. All right, so we're going to discuss the yamas and the niyamas by Deborah Adele. Hope I'm saying that right. And we're still covering Ahimsa. I'm so sorry, it's been a while. I was sick. Um, but I'm much better now. So remember, Ahimsa means nonviolence. And so in this section, she's discussing Ahimsa and actually how worrying and helping others can actually be a form of violence. For example, she says, thinking we know what is better for others becomes a subtle way we do violence. When we take it upon ourselves to help the other, we whittle away at their sense of autonomy. Nonviolence asks us to trust the other's journey and love and support others to their highest image of themselves, not our highest image of them. It asks that we stop managing ourselves or experience others and others' experience of us. Leave the other person free of our needs, free to be themselves, and free to see us as they choose. Now, that's a hard one for me. Have others be free to see me as they choose. I gotta tell you, like when my spouse and I are arguing and I see that he has not seen me in a good light, I get heated. Like I get angry. Like if someone calls me selfish, that's a trigger. I don't like that. That's a hard one. To let people be free to see you as they want. That's tough. But yeah, and then she goes on to say, when we try to fix or save someone else, we are keeping them from getting the learning the situation has for them. I teach preschool, and I remind people a lot when they come into my classroom and try to automatically do something for my students. They can learn, for example, to put on their own shoes. Don't just jump in there and put their own shoes on for them. Like, let them learn it. And it wasn't until after I read this section, I kind of got it. So, like, there's always, those kids you say, okay, be careful, and they get really mad. Little boys do this a lot, I notice. You'll say, oh, be careful on this side, and they get angry and like, dude, I care for you. I don't want you to get hurt. But I get it. Because what I've been saying, when I'm telling them to be careful, I'm saying, I don't trust you to walk up those stairs. That's big. I get it. I'm getting it. And then she goes on to say, the only thing we have to offer that is truly of value is to sit with them where they are, as they are. We need to trust suffering and trust challenge and trust mistakes. They are what refine us when we don't run from them. Isn't it interesting though? Like, I don't know about you, but I can trust that in my life. Like, I'm like, well, I got this, right? But then when I see it happen to someone else, I either get concerned or I almost feel apathetic. But I realize when I'm not really feeling apathetic, I'm like, oh, well, I trust them to handle it. So on the outside, I may seem like I'm being an uncaring asshole. But those are actually times when I'm like, I'm trusting that person. And a lot of times I have to remind my family of this. Because like my husband will be like, oh, you just don't care. You don't care about that person. And it's like, no. Like, how is worrying for them going to help them? I need to trust that they got this. And to, when I can, sit there with them. I think that's very loving. But people will kind of think you're an asshole and really accuse you of being apathetic. So, but again, I guess we gotta be free to let others see us as they want. Oh, that's so hard though. Like, how dare you think I'm being apathetic? All right. And I love this. She writes of a feminist writer in the 70s. This writer named Rachel Naomi Raymond echoes, our listening creates a sanctuary for the homeless parts within another person. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Our listening creates a sanctuary for the homeless parts within another person. So don't ever think that just because you're only listening to someone, that can be huge. She says, there is nothing to fix or save in another. There is only the gift of listening. People need a safe place to hear themselves. Worry is a lack of faith in the other and cannot exist simultaneously with love. Either we have faith in the other person to do their best, or we don't. Worry says, I don't trust you to do your life right. Worry comes from a place of arrogance that I know better what should be happening in your life. Worry says, I don't trust your journey or your answers or your timing. Worry is fear that hasn't grown up yet. It is a misuse of our imagination. We both devalue and insult others when we worry about them. Yeah, like I said, like my preschoolers. Oh, be careful. Oh my gosh. And they're like, oh, and they get mad. And I'm like, dude, but yeah, because what I'm saying is, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to walk upstairs by yourself. How weird is that? I'd get offended too. I'd like to discern the difference between help and support, she says. Now I love this. I love the difference between help and support. So she talks about how help is devaluing because you're like up above, like you have a more of a skill and you're like reaching down the other person or bringing them up. Let me help you. Whereas support puts you on equal ground. And she says, help carries the connotation that I am more skilled at life's decisions and challenges than the other person is. Help is a one-up on the other person. Whereas support meets the other person on equal playing ground with equal ability and is able to sit with more awe and respect than answers. Oh, I love that. And then she talks about there's this Battered Women's Center in Minneapolis that has the motto, every woman has her own answer. Every woman has her own timing. Every woman has her own path. Oh, I love it. This is such a good section. I highly recommend this book right here. It's really cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. Oh, there's a question at the end to ponder. This is a good one. I love this. Dun, 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 dun. All right. She says this week or today, I like to do like, I don't have patience, like focus on a week or something, plus it will take forever to get through this book. So for today or tomorrow or this week, I guess, I'll give you the freedom to do you at your own timing. I don't know your life better than you. Oh. All right. So this week, today, or even this month, watch where you are running interference on others' lives. Are you a worrier? A fixer? Discern the difference between help and support. Notice what you might be avoiding in your own life because you are so interested in others' lives. Oh, we all know that person, don't we? One of my favorite childhood books, Dolly the Dodo. Check it out. It's a pretty cool book. So, like, Dolly the Dodo keeps forgetting everything, right? And her friends are like busybodies. They're tying all these ribbons on her fingers to help her remember all these things. Long story short, Dolly Dodo forgets to make dinner, and like all the other people were so busy interfering with her life that they started their dinners, but like burnt them all. It's one of my favorite stories because I tend to be Dolly the Dodo and forget things. But sometimes forgetfulness is good. Anyway, join me in these discussions. Let me know in the comments what you think about this book if you're reading it along with me. And just let me know in the comments what you think. All right. Namaste.